Well, there it goes, Bonte. What's up, buddy? Missed you.
He's back, baby.
You know, I want to get right into the Warriors real quick as he gets in and gets himself situated. I'll let him get himself situated. I'll tell you what I'm thinking. I watched that game yesterday, and I couldn't name some of the Suns, although I always love Saric. Me and Kolsky used to argue about him. I just think he's a skilled player. I think he's a good role player off the bench. Would love to have him on my team. I can't understand this Warriors team. I think in the playoffs, they're going to be a good team. I do. I think because it's all different. No back-to-backs. You shorten the bench to 8 guys. The roles are clearly defined. Boy, they miss Kuminga right now. Regular season, I just don't know what to make of this team. I legitimately don't know what, they confuse me. They play great against the Celtics. They play great against the Memphis Grizzlies. There's times when guys are down and this team picks itself up by the bootstraps and goes out there and kicks butt. And then there's other games where they just lay down for 40, 45 minutes of a game, and then they think they can turn it on for the last couple. They confuse the hell out of me, B.
You know, good morning to you, man. It's good to see you. It's good to see everybody out there, man. You know, I was so excited about coming in today. So excited. And the Warriors were a downer.
Here's the B.
The Warriors were a downer.
The big butt.
The big butt. There's a couple big butts here. Your boy was so excited that you go to sleep, you don't set any alarms. And the worst part is, part about that, I didn't go to bed until 2:30. This feels like my first show ever. I was so excited because it's a huge week. Niners Seahawks. I wasn't going to let the Warriors get me down from last night. What an awful, awful performance for 3 quarters. We'll get to all that.
Clay played hard.
That was about it. That was about it. I was disgusted last night. Texted a lot of people out the Warriors. I get it. Rotations are unsettling. Curry's back. Wiggins' second game back. You don't want to. Yeah, I mean, but he doesn't look right.
He doesn't look better in the final 5 minutes. He looked a lot better.
They all looked a lot better in the last 5 minutes, and that's why I took a big positive from the last fourth quarter. I thought that fourth quarter, win or lose, may have been the most important basketball of the season.
That's a statement.
You know why? Halfway point, right? They're 20-21. You see you see Iguodala out there, you see Draymond out there, you see Wiggins, you see Jordan Poole get aggressive. I need Jordan Poole to be aggressive like that from the jump. However, I got to have Steve Kerr play him first off the bench.
Wow.
Playing Iguodala first, I get it. He's a veteran, but come on, Jordan Poole's the guy. Jordan Poole's he's going to have
a year and a half since Andre Iguodala did something noticeable on a basketball court.
Exactly.
And then let's just call it what it is. He's at the end, the very end. He's teed off on 18. His ball's in the rough. He's short of the green. He's chipping on, and he's like one putt and done here.
I was not feeling the fact that Andre Iguodala was in the game before Jordan Poole last night. Now, it's early. It's the first quarter, but what kind of message is that send? All right, so I wasn't happy about that.
100% agree with you.
But that last fourth quarter, with all those guys playing hard, because how many NBA teams do you see down 20, down 18, early fourth quarter? How many times do you just see the starter sitting on the bench with a towel over their head?
Yeah,
they mail it in.
Yeah, happens all the time.
So a lot of people are going to say, don't give up props because they didn't show up for the first 3 quarters. They played through it for a second. I said, oh, boy, they're going to come back and win this basketball game. They cut it to 6. I was like, wow, this will be miraculous. How a lot of people didn't want Damian Lee around here. They couldn't wait for him to hit the door and leave.
I was happy for him yesterday.
Oh, so thrilled for him. He's such a good dude.
Yes.
I told you the story about him in Summer League after the 2019 NBA Finals. Had no team, was wandering around the Thomas and Mack Center by himself just saying, I just want to play basketball. And he latched on with the Golden State Warriors, and he made himself some money and became an NBA champion. That was awesome. But there was a statement to me by the veteran saying, we need one more guy. And maybe that's a veteran. And that's why this deadline coming up here for Bob Myers, Steve Kerr, this could possibly be a franchise-altering trade deadline or a franchise-altering postseason. Because they're going to have to make decisions on Draymond Green, Klay Thompson. I know you guys talked about Joe Lacob on the TK podcast. We'll get to all that later. But something's up here. And one alarming thing is they don't get easy. They don't get easy baskets, Shasky.
Well,
the last 4 games on the homestand, 3 heavy. Can I get somebody to go to the cup, and that's where Kuminga fits in?
No doubt. And they also just don't have any blow-by guys. I look at all the young teams in the league. They've either got a physical mismatch in terms of I could shoot up and over you, or they've got a couple of guys who could dribble, drive, penetrate, and get by them. Right now, if I ask you, who's a dribble, drive, penetrator on the Warriors? Just one.
Jordan Poole.
Agreed. But he didn't come in until almost the second quarter.
I know, and he comes in late first quarter, and he's not aggressive.
Well,
and he's MIA, so I got to figure that out.
I think it's really hard to come off the bench. I'm not trying to defend. He has been inconsistent. I admit that. But I think everybody thinks you can just go out there and just
turn it on.
Yeah, it's really hard. I think that the role is difficult. And I don't think we acknowledge how difficult that is. And they're yo-yoing his importance on the team constantly.
I totally agree.
What's the one thing we say? And I don't care what sport, football, baseball, basketball, it does not matter. Have a clearly defined role. Right now, what is Jordan Poole's clearly defined role?
He comes off the bench to score, but he's not aggressive. But if you look at his first quarter totals here. Jordan Poole played 6 minutes and 16 seconds, so he comes in midway through the first quarter. That's fine. He's got to be the first guy off the bench, though. He has to be the first guy off the bench.
How can he be the guy who's carrying your team with Klay Thompson just a couple games ago to you falling behind Iggy? And again, we all like Iggy. I respect Iggy's resume. His current landscape does not warrant him coming in front of Jordan Poole.
I'm 100% with you. So Jordan Poole plays 14 minutes and 21 seconds in the first half. He shoots 3 times. I need him shooting 7 to 8 times. And you look at the free throw discrepancy here in the first half. Again, we've been talking about this all season long. The Warriors are the worst team.
More than anyone.
They're the worst team. Why? Because they can't stay in front of their guy. They can't stay in front of him. Yes. Nobody. Jordan Poole included. 3 shots for Jordan Poole in that first half. It's got to be more aggressive. I need 7 to 8. But 4 free throws total. So that's where Jonathan Kuminga comes into play. And I thought about him last night in the fourth quarter where it's Phoenix team.
Oh, they were missing. Ponce, I thought about him the other night against Detroit.
Dude, Torrey Craig played out of his mind. Dario Saric is looking like, I don't know if you saw at halftime, they had a Magic Johnson shot of, hey, that's Dario Saric playing like Magic Johnson to the LA Lakers. Like, come on, man.
I remember when Philly traded away Saric, and I was like, that's a bad. I like Saric. He's not a starter. He's a role player. He's like an 8-9 guy. On a team like the Warriors, he fits.
He fits great. I've always liked Sarge. And remember, he may have been a missing piece for them in the finals when he tore his ACL that season. Remember that?
Yes, I do.
Game 2, he was a big piece.
I just really like him as a player.
No, I like Sarge. I can't believe Philadelphia gave up on him, too. But so you need Kuminga there because you need a guy who can go to the cup and get easy baskets.
And defend on the perimeter.
Something.
Mikal Bridges also owns the Warriors.
Wiggins defended at a high level.
No doubt. No, he defended. He absolutely.
Jordan Poole tried hard in the fourth quarter. Draymond Green's got to be better with the turnovers, but they just need a guy who could get easy baskets. I know who.
But is that guy available in terms of a trade? Like, how many teams are a guy who gets easy baskets is an easy thing to say.
I'm just hoping it could be James Wiseman.
What do you mean?
Hoping it could be James Wiseman
to get easy buckets.
To get easy buckets, to get vertical spacing.
Why is he still hurt?
He may be back by the road trip. I'm hearing great reports about Jonathan Kuminga and James Wiseman. They're going to be reevaluated, I believe either today or tomorrow, and they'll be back at some point on a road trip. A road trip, they've got to win 3 out of 2.
So or
3 out of 5, excuse me.
Agreed. But as we talk about trades and things like that, I'm just looking around what's available, right? And it seems to me like there aren't easy, but even you say Miles Turner, Jakob Poeltl, are those guys bucket getters?
No, I'm not. Forget those names.
Okay, but those are the names that people keep linking.
Yeah. I'm so tired of those names.
Me
those
too.
names are not going to help.
Well, they're like a 7-minute Band-Aid.
I need somebody who can get easy baskets and defend the rim and be physical. Yesterday, the Suns attacked the rim at will.
Yes.
They were grabbing rebounds left and right. Again, Torrey Craig was out hustling everybody. 14 rebounds for Torrey Craig yesterday. That can't happen.
And hitting threes.
And hitting 3. Well, he hit 2 of 5. Kerr said it the other day. Looney and Draymond are playing a little too many minutes. He feels like they're thin in the front court. Well, at times like last night in a game like that, I need at least one guy who can score in that front court. There's too many times where there's Green and Looney, Green and Iguodala. Those are 2 non-scorers.
Agreed.
In today's NBA, I got to have at least 4 guys who can get you a bucket. 4 guys on the floor at once. And there's too many times the Warriors have 2 guys on the floor who can't get you buckets or won't get you buckets or won't be an offensive threat. And that's what they're missing. One more guy, and preferably, I think it's a guy who has size, strength, and can get to the cup and get free shots. It sets your defense up.
So where are you going with this?
I'm going as Kuminga's a guy that they needed last night.
They've needed him for about a week.
I don't know if you need a clone, if you need to clone that guy in the lab. I don't know if you need to find another guy who could defend on the wing, but they're missing another wing defender who could get to the cup and get you easy baskets.
There's just not a lot of those guys available on the open market.
And I'm not saying they're going to trade for that. I'm not saying that.
You're saying internally.
I'm just saying
internally. What about
internally.
Moses Moody? Why is he falling out of favor?
Is
What's
Moses
going
Moody
on?
answer?
Well, no, I don't think so. I'm the more and more I watch him play, the more and more I feel like he's getting phased out, and I don't know what to make of him. What does he do at a high level?
So I don't see. This is a conversation we've had. And by the way, good morning to everybody out there. 618. We're just flying on the Golden State Warriors. Thanks to Joe Shasky. He's been on fire this week. Listen to the show a little bit on Monday. Of course,
I ran out of steam halfway through yesterday.
No. You're all right. You don't run out of steam. You drink 3 cups of coffee. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. We got your boy David Sampson on today. 8:30. No, I won't yell at Shasky. I heard you. See, that's the problem. Getting all these DMs says stop yelling at Shasky. It's your fault because you're yelling at it on these Bay Area airways.
This is an abusive relationship now. I am now the victim.
I'm driving in. I hear him and Spinoni because your boy don't set any alarms. I don't go to bed. I couldn't fall asleep till 2:40. I was tossing and turning because I'm thinking about the Niners and Seahawks on Saturday and
that was me the night before. Games. The storm that came in the middle of the night woke me up and the dogs, and I couldn't go back to bed.
Wasn't even a storm. I couldn't even sleep. I was like, geez, I'm trying everything. I took some melatonin. Couldn't sleep.
Be careful with that.
Yeah, I don't usually do that. I'm not.
I'd rather you smoke weed.
That didn't even work. Oh, no, I'm kidding. So I'm driving in. I'm flying down to Barcadero in the storm. And I hear Shasky, well, Bonte's going to come in. And, I just hope he doesn't yell at me. Like, what? That's my welcome back? Is that what's going around here, London? I'm the yeller now? I'm the guy who's yelling at Shasky? Jeez. Makes me not even want to come back.
I got a quick update, Bonte, because I know we're going to get into so many different things. Just want before we forget, because we're going to get sidetracked. Bruce Mahoney last night, St. Ignatius won by like 20.
Did they beat Sacred Heart by 20? Did you go?
No, I didn't go.
Oh.
I had my own game, St. Brendan's. We played at Cathedral last night. We had all these makeup games.
So, get me wrong.
Shout out Maz and Nestor for refereeing. They did a great job.
They only had the varsity boys game at War Memorial yesterday, huh? Or the JV game?
There was a JV game. The girls game, it used to be girls and boys.
Why
so
did
they're
they do
two
that?
separate nights because they want them to have, I think, their own platform. I agree, because I asked about my niece, like, why aren't you guys playing? I went and saw also over the weekend the 10th, depending on where you're seeing your ranking, 10th best team in the girls program in the country, Midi.
Oh, they put it on SI. I saw that score.
I was there. It was a blowout.
They won by 30 or something like that?
There's a girl, McKenna something or other, who plays for Midi, who's like 6'3". She's incredible. She's a freshman. She looks like she's a senior, and she plays like she's a college player. She's unbelievable.
I saw that score, and I was like, damn.
Yeah, and then Reardon won on a last-second buzzer beater last night against Sarah at home.
That's what I heard.
And then they stormed the court. I retweeted those videos if you want to look for them. So just want to give a quick little, there's a lot of great basketball being played. We're going to do the sideshow at some point this week.
You know who the best team may be in the city?
Who?
Lincoln High School.
Well, they've got a bunch of rebels.
They got a bunch of rebels in the Reardon transfer.
Yeah, I know.
I think Carl Jacobs is coaching Lincoln, who coached a long time in the Pro-Am. He coached French International High School.
Yeah, they've got a bunch of really good guard play.
No, they're legit. Yeah. They're legit. They're playing in the MLK tournament coming up here over the weekend. But look, man, the Warriors, I was very, very disappointed with the first 3 quarters. There's something I could take away from the fourth quarter. But here's the thing. I tweeted it last night. What a subpar performance in the first half of the season at 20 and 21. First of all, who saw the Warriors 41 games through the season being under 500? And number 2, it may be the perfect cap-off to what was a tumultuous first half of the season. Let's think about it. We talk about the Niners Operation 4-4, right? When they fell to 3-4, and I'm like, hey, man, just be 4-4. Be 4-4 after Trey getting hurt, after Jimmy saga, after Trent Williams going down, after Debo and everything that happened, and George Kittle being hurt. The Niners going into the bye week at 4-4 felt like, whew, all right, we can play ball now. Yeah. We can set up for the second half, and let's play. They've won 10 straight.
God, I missed you. I mean, this is just you hear this guy? I'm loving it. Keep going. I'm like enjoying the show.
Oh, are you sure? All right.
I'm enjoying it. Keep going.
But no, when you look at the Golden State Warriors and you see Draymond and Poole, what happened to trading camp, and you think about the injuries, and you think about the youngsters not playing and going to Santa Cruz and not going to Santa Cruz, and Iguodala, and then all of a sudden they turn the corner and go 5-0 on this 8-game homestand to start it off. And then all of a sudden you get podcast game. Everybody's doing podcasts all of a sudden like the Warriors turned the corner. And I was guilty of it saying, nobody's beating this team 4 times in the Western Conference. Last night was the perfect ending for the first half of the season for the Golden State Warriors. That capped off everything. An up and down first half. You get blown out by the B team of the Phoenix Suns, and then you lose that basketball game. It was like the cherry on top of what was a tumultuous first half of the season.
Well, I do want to know if you were asking me, Joe, what was the grade for this team, right? Because I saw you tweet that out last night. I thought it was great. I was thinking, all right, then what were my expectations? What would have been I considered par for this roster, this team, this franchise right now? Like, what would have been a good, solid C? It would have been be above 500, have a bunch of guys playing good basketball, right? I don't expect every guy on the roster to play great basketball. If I asked you today, who's playing great basketball? I think Klay Thompson's playing better basketball at this point right now than he has maybe at any time in the last couple of years because of the injuries.
You know, Anthony Lamb was playing some good basketball. And then the rotations got tweaked yesterday, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, back to the bench because we need to play Andre Iguodala. It's so imperative that we get Andre Iguodala on the floor.
Well, Iggy doesn't fit. I'm going to tell you that right now.
All right, so Jordan Poole.
He doesn't have anything left.
Jordan Poole has been up and down, but it was good to see him go 4-7 for the three-point line last time. He's been shooting like 31% from three this season, 31 to 32%. It was good to see him hit the ball. But to answer your question, Klay Thompson, Draymond did have a good stretch.
He did.
Looney did have a good stretch, but he's looking like he's kind of hit a wall here.
He's tired.
He's tired. Wiggins has been hurt. Curry has been out.
Same.
So Dante DiVincenzo, give him some credit.
Agreed. Okay, that's two guys.
It's two guys.
It's
not good enough.
It's not. And Dante's missed some time. That's not his fault, but like reality is. And then like I go into this year, can the youngsters really help this team in a big way? Like not it's going to be all three.
Right.
Can one or two of them really contribute? If you're asking right now, we've seen promise, but for the most part, it's been lackluster. Yeah. And if anything, I have zero faith that Moody can do anything this year because of what evidence is there that has proven it. Like, other than people saying, I believe in him as a prospect, what have you seen on the basketball floor this year that makes you think Moody can help them?
We expected him to take a leap because of his IQ.
He's gone
because
backwards.
of his veterans presence. The DMPs have affected him.
But it would affect anyone.
Is he the most athletic guy out there? No. Is he laterally, side to side? Is he the most athletic guy? No. But I thought the shot would be more consistent.
Yes.
I thought he had more aggression. And now, again, the first 10 games, first 15 games with the way Steve Kerr handled the rotation, I thought it was a mistake. The youngsters, again, we talked about this all season long. They should have saw at least 15 minutes a night the first 15 games. And you don't do that. So now he's looking over his back. Every time he turns it over, am I going on the bench? Every time
the worst way to play basketball is when you're like this and you're as I clinch up and you're afraid to actually make a mistake.
And you're looking at the scores table like, oh, they're replacing me. Oh boy. So I gotta say, PPJ, Patrick Baldwin Jr., over the last couple of weeks, has probably looked better than Moody has all season long.
No question about it. And I love PBJ. But like Wiseman hasn't done anything. Nothing. Like he's done nothing.
It's been a disappointment.
And then Kuminga has shown flashes for a couple of game stretches, and then the ankle injury really set him back. Like this team really needs him. So I guess what my overarching thing is, I don't see how you can even say this is a C. They're below 500. Wow. There's been injuries for the first time in Wiggins' career. Wow. Curry had a pretty significant left shoulder injury. Like, I'm not saying the season's over. What I'm saying is during the regular season, I think this team is going to exert so much energy just to get to the playoffs. It's going to really hurt their playoff chances.
With all that said,
even though I believe they can win a championship once they get to the playoffs.
The West has never been more wide open.
I agree with that.
But they need a couple more guys. Let's continue to talk about this. 888-957-9570. What would your first half grade be for the Golden State Warriors? First half grade, 20-21 through 41. I just asked for 6-2 on a homestand. It looked damn good 5 games through. They lose 3 straight to the Pistons, Magic, and the Phoenix Suns.
You're the worst road team in the league. Just say it.
It's good to be back. All right, we're going to do a lot of things here. We'll come back here. Brought to